Right, all right, lads. So we'll move on from the Brighton-Newcastle game, and we've got Everton at home, and they're going to be playing Tottenham Hotspur.
After you, Matt.
Oh, thank you very much. You're a gentleman.
And that's on the Sunday, by the way.
Yeah. I think, Everton have really dipped in form at the moment.
Massively.
Defensively, look shocking. Were battered by Wolves in the first half. Came back the second half, though, played a bit better, as I said before. But Spurs under new management, Conte coming in, I think that's going to give them a bump. And I think those players were desperate for someone new to come in. I think they really weren't playing for Espirito Santo. And I think this is one of those where you're going to get that managerial bump, new manager bump. And I think Spurs are going to win it. I think Everton are vulnerable at the moment. But you never know. Everton could turn it round, I guess. But yeah, I'm going to go for a Spurs win.
Me?
Yeah, definitely.
I agree with Matthew. Everton, massive dip in form. They've been quite poor. Tottenham, well, you do say that, they needed someone new to come in. Unfortunately, I mean, Nuno Espirito Santos wasn't really very old. He only actually managed 17 games in total. 10 of them being Premier League fixtures.
He's got a reasonably good win record. Unfortunately, pretty poor.
He won 5.
Yeah.
He won 5, drew none, and lost 5. Just quick thing here. Anybody who's listening, apparently all the punditry and the TV think it's fine for him to be sacked at this moment in time.
I know where this is going.
And Steve Bruce last season, he couldn't win in 20 games. And he couldn't win a game this season. And we were crucified by the media for sacking our manager.
Yeah.
So I've seen the bias.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I just wanted to put that in. Wanted to put that in. The other thing is...
They were six in the table before the weekend, though, before the game, the result of the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so they weren't doing that badly in terms of form as well.
They weren't a disaster.
So, anyway, I just wanted to put that in. I'm sorry. But
No, absolutely right. I agree with you.
The thing about the Everton game, Tottenham, I'm sure Conte has already spoken to the players, and he's probably said, this is not going to be good enough for me. So they're going to be out there at Goodison Park, and they're really going to have to put a shift in for Conte.
Yeah, he's quite high maintenance, Conte, and he's a very demanding person, apparently. In Italy, they won't see this in the UK, but Sky Italia in Italy have an advert with him, and basically they're just making fun of how much of a bit of a prima donna he is, and sort of like very, very high demands on everybody.
Right.
He goes into the TV centre and sort of like starts ordering people around like it's on the football. It's
right.
They obviously make it. They know him best,
course.
and this is sort of manager.
Well, nothing wrong with that. They needed that. That. Well, Man United need a manager like that.
Maybe.
Absolutely.
Well, they're not going to have him now, are they?
No, not him anymore.
Well, it was was that job coming up for him? Was it? It was Tottenham between the two, wasn't it?
Well, his last excursion in the Premier League, his only excursion in the Premier League, he did one brilliant season with Chelsea and won them the league.
Yeah.
I was very surprised to see him sacked the next season, but that's how Chelsea work.
That's Abramovich.
Yeah, that's how
Abramovich,
Chelsea works.
like,
You say one bad word to him, and sacks you.
There's the door, like.
Yeah. So yeah, he's got a good record.
He's a good manager.
He's a good manager. Yeah. Maybe because he is such a disciplinarian and a bit of a high maintenance guy, shall we say?
High maintenance. So I think honestly Tottenham win at the weekend, because I think he'll have told them that if you don't go out there and get me a win, there could be heads on the chopping block. Let's see.
I think he's got a good set of players to work with. I mean, we talked about Newcastle before, and managers going in there not having a good set of players to work with. But Tottenham are still a good set of players.
Yeah.
Go on, it's your local rivals.
As much as I hate Tottenham, don't forget my brother's Tottenham. Yeah, I love my brother, but you know what I mean. His choice. Yeah.
Say it how it is, mate.
It's questionable to say the least. But anyway, no, I agree. I think Tottenham will win. Okay, I'm surprised at how Everton are playing at the moment. Their lack of form. I'm surprised at the fact that Benitez can't get them, ticking over. Tottenham win for me.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
All in agreement, and that's an away win for a team that's not been in great form.
Right, lads. So Sunday at 2:00 London time, Arsenal will be at home at the Emirates Stadium, and they will be playing Watford.
It's a good job it's London time because they are both from London.
Yes.
Roughly. I know Watford's in Bedfordshire.
And it's a good thing this is take 3. Okay?
Take 4 this, mate.
The only reason I said London time because you didn't see what we did before. All right. So
anyway,
great shout to go first on this episode.
Because that's my boys. You know what I mean. Anyway, as I was about to say, I don't think Watford are going to reproduce the result and the performance which they had against Everton, and also Arsenal are playing a lot better at the moment than what Everton are. Because if I remember rightly, correct me if I'm wrong, Everton were winning 2-1. Okay, ended up losing 5-2. Okay.
Actually, I'll correct you because you're not wrong. This time.
Okay, and hence take 4. Okay. Not only. I can't say anything but an Arsenal win. Look, I've been very critical of Arteta and our team. I've always said, that I didn't think Arteta was the man to take us forward, and that I hope that he would prove me wrong. If you look at any of my podcasts, that's what I said. I don't mind being proven wrong, as long as we do well, because that's all I want from my team,
Of course.
So, again, I'm going to turn around and say, though, although I'm saying it's an Arsenal win all the way, 100% for me, there are no bankers, and we'll go on to that when we do our betting forum. But it depends on what Arsenal turns out. Now, if the Arsenal that played last weekend turn up, against Aston Villa, the Arsenal that played against Tottenham.
The Arsenal played against Leicester last time out as well, yeah. No, Villa, they played against Villa, they played well against Leicester. So that's back-to-back games where they've where they've been consistent,
So, if they do that, if that's the Arsenal that comes out, I don't see nothing but a win.
Well, I mean, the cogs have started turning again at Arsenal, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The machine has started to engage again.
Well, we have an 11 that we believe is the starting 11 finally.
Yeah. And, I mean, honestly, at the start of the season, they were woeful.
Oh, they lost three on the run.
Yeah.
And have been unbeaten since. So they were 3 on the run and bottom of the league.
Yes.
But now look at them, they're knocking on the top 4.
But it's a wonderful thing as a fan to see progression.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they are, slowly, but they are getting there.
So maybe the famous process is working.
Well, maybe, yeah. Do we know what that process is?
We still don't know what the process is, but I guess the process is not losing any more games, because that's definitely the process.
That's a process.
That's the progress that they've made.
As long as we keep playing as we are, I'm happy. And all the Arsenal.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of inconsistency in the last 7 games, but they've not been beaten. They've looked more solid in defence. They look like they're fighting for each other a lot more. And that was what our major criticism, I think, early on in the season, that they didn't look like they were playing for each other. They just had no backbone.
Well, it's changed since Gabriel's come back in.
Yeah.
Gabriel and Benjamin, as he likes to be called now, White, okay, have made a solid. Okay.
He's gone all Jamaican, has he? My brother's called Benjamin. But he's we always call him Ben. You know.
I don't think. No, he was. Everyone called him Ben, but he said he wants to be called Benjamin.
Okay.
So everyone's calling him Benjamin.
I think that's his mum.
Maybe.
His mum said that. Said, we did not call you Ben. We christened you Benjamin. No?
Fair enough.
No, that's what
we
I
know what
think.
brothers are like. Yeah.
I think, or grandma. I don't know. But there you go. So obviously you think that it's definitely nailed on a win.
Yep, I call it a banker.
I agree. Actually, I do think that Arsenal are going to beat them. They have turned out some surprises this season, Watford.
Yeah.
They definitely have.
I think you've got to look at how Everton capitulated in that game.
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
It's not. Obviously that's under this under Ranieri. That's under the new management.
Yeah.
Everton capitulated. King had an absolute stormer. It may be a one-off performance for him in a way. I've never seen him play that before. They have got Sarr, who's decent striker.
Ismail.
He's pretty. A lot of other clubs will be looking at him. Actually, I think he's. Watford are a selling club. Let's
I
face
heard
it.
Newcastle were looking at him.
I think they probably are actually.
Yeah.
He's one of those players that you think, we're going to get a decent bit of, thrust up the Premier League basically by having a player like that in our side. Yeah, but I think I agree with you, which is it's happening far too often. But I think Arsenal have really turned a corner, and I think they're at home. I think Watford under Ranieri already said this. Don't think he was the right manager to come at the time. And as we go back to what we were saying before about the impetus of a new manager can be lost very quickly with a run of poor results, I think this is happening to Ranieri already.
Yeah.